If you've ever wondered why Japanese children often seem calmer, more cooperative, and emotionally regulated without constant yelling, threats, or punishment, I need you to listen very carefully for the next 30 seconds. Because what you are about to hear may challenge everything you think you know about discipline, obedience, and respect. These children are not naturally easier. Their parents are not magically more patient, and their culture is not softer. In many ways, it is stricter. But it is strict in a way that works with the child's brain, not against it. Most Western parenting focuses on control, on consequences, on stopping behavior. Japanese parenting focuses on regulation, on structure, on social awareness, and on building self-discipline from the inside out. The result is children who cooperate not because they are afraid, but because they are regulated, because they feel secure, because they understand their place in the group. This is not permissive parenting, and it is not harsh punishment. It is something far more powerful. It is neurological alignment. One of the biggest differences is that Japanese parenting prioritizes clear rules over punishment. The rule is the rule. It is not debated, it is not negotiated, and it is not enforced with emotional intensity. It is simply there. And because it is predictable, the child's nervous system relaxes. The brain does not need to test. It does not need to fight. It adapts. In neuroscience, predictability equals safety. When the brain knows what to expect, the amygdala, the threat center, quiets down. When the amygdala is quiet, the prefrontal cortex, the thinking brain, can engage. This is why children in highly predictable environments often show better emotional control. Their brains are not constantly scanning for danger. Another core principle is attachment before independence. In many Western cultures, we push independence early. We want children to self-soothe, self-manage, and self-regulate as soon as possible. Japanese parenting does the opposite. It builds deep emotional security first, and from that security, independence naturally grows. This is not emotional dependence. This is neurological sequencing. The brain must feel safe before it can explore. A child who feels emotionally held is more willing to cooperate, more willing to try, and more willing to separate. Attachment creates independence, not the other way around. Respect is also taught very differently. In Japanese culture, respect is mutual. It flows both ways. Children are not humiliated, they are not shamed, and they are not corrected publicly. Correction happens privately. Repair happens publicly. This protects the child's dignity, and dignity protects cooperation. Shame activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. When a child is shamed, the brain goes into defense. It shuts down learning. But when correction is calm and private, the brain stays open. It can integrate, it can adjust. This is why discipline without shame is so effective. It builds skill without damaging the relationship. Community also plays a massive role. Japanese children are raised with a strong sense of social responsibility. They clean their classrooms. They serve each other food. They help maintain shared spaces. This is not exploitation. It is empowerment. The brain learns, I matter to the group. That belief builds accountability from the inside. When children feel part of something larger than themselves, their behavior shifts, not because they are forced, but because they belong. Even meals are used as regulation tools. Families eat together. There is structure. There is rhythm. There is conversation. This stabilizes the nervous system. Shared meals lower stress hormones. They improve emotional regulation. They strengthen connection. Food becomes more than nutrition. It becomes regulation. What looks strict on the outside is actually deeply supportive on the inside. These rules are not about control. They are about containment. And containment is what allows children to relax. Before we go any further, if this is already making you rethink discipline, take a second to like this video and leave a comment telling me how old your child is. And if you want deeper tools, real scripts, and early access to upcoming content, this channel also has a membership with 2 levels that unlock exclusive and preview materials for parents who want to go beyond surface advice. Make sure you're subscribed to the Parenting Blueprint so you don't miss what's coming next. Because calm children are not created by force. They are created by structure, safety, and skill. And the Japanese approach shows us exactly how that works. One of the most misunderstood aspects of Japanese parenting is how early responsibility is introduced. To many Western parents, it looks harsh. Children cleaning their own classrooms, serving meals, carrying their own bags, helping younger children. But neurologically, this is brilliant. Responsibility builds competence, and competence builds confidence. When a child's brain experiences, "I can contribute," it releases dopamine, the motivation chemical. The brain begins to associate effort with reward. This is how intrinsic motivation is built. In contrast, when adults do everything for children, the brain does not learn capability. It learns dependence. Japanese culture does not wait for maturity to teach responsibility. It uses responsibility to create maturity. The child is not pressured. The task is normal, expected. And because it is expected, it is not experienced as punishment. It is experienced as belonging. This is deeply regulating to the nervous system. A child who knows their role feels grounded. The brain is not guessing. It is not testing. It is participating. Another powerful rule is emotional containment. In Japanese culture, big emotional displays are gently guided, not amplified. This is not emotional suppression. It is emotional coaching. When a child melts down, the response is calm, steady, unreactive. The adult becomes the emotional container, and the child borrows that regulation. Neuroscience shows us that children cannot calm themselves until they have been calmed by others many times. Regulation is learned through relationship. When adults remain steady in the face of big feelings, the child's nervous system synchronizes. This is called co-regulation. Over time, it becomes self-regulation. This is why yelling back at a yelling child rarely works. It escalates the nervous system. But when the adult stays grounded, the child's brain has something stable to anchor to. Calm creates calm, not immediately, but neurologically. Another key difference is how rules are framed. In Japanese parenting, rules are presented as part of life, not as personal demands. It is not because I said so. It is, this is how we do things. The rule is bigger than the parent. This removes power struggle. The child is not fighting you. They are learning the system. This is crucial. When discipline becomes personal, the brain resists. When discipline becomes structural, the brain adapts. This is also why predictability is sacred. Routines are stable. Expectations are clear. Transitions are supported. The child's brain is not constantly bracing for surprise. It knows what comes next. And a brain that knows what comes next is a calm brain. Japanese parents also prioritize empathy training from a very young age. Not through lectures, through experience. Children are taught to notice how their actions affect others, to clean shared spaces, to wait their turn, to move as a group. This builds social awareness. The brain learns, I am not alone. That awareness naturally softens behavior. Empathy is not taught through correction. It is taught through participation. Even correction itself is handled differently. As mentioned earlier, children are corrected privately and repaired publicly. This protects the child's social standing. The brain is incredibly sensitive to social threat. Public humiliation activates the same neural pathways as physical danger. It triggers shame, and shame shuts down learning. By correcting privately, the child can hear. By repairing publicly, the child feels safe. This preserves dignity, and dignity preserves cooperation. Another powerful element is the absence of constant praise. Instead of good job for everything, Japanese parenting focuses on effort and contribution. This builds internal motivation. The brain learns to value the process, not just the reward. Children become less dependent on external validation. They become more self-directed. And this is why Japanese children often appear self-disciplined, not because they are controlled, but because their brain has been trained to regulate within a structure that makes sense. This is the core difference. Western discipline often tries to control behavior from the outside. Japanese discipline builds control from the inside. And when control is internal, cooperation becomes natural. Because the child is not trying to escape pressure. They are responding to structure. They are responding to belonging. They are responding to clarity. And the brain loves clarity. What makes these Japanese parenting rules so powerful is not that they are strict. It's that they are coherent. They all point in the same direction. They create a world where the child knows what is expected, feels emotionally safe, and understands that they belong. And when those three conditions are met, the brain does something remarkable. It relaxes. A relaxed brain does not fight. It cooperates. This is why yelling is so rare. Not because parents never get frustrated, but because frustration is not used as a tool. Emotional outbursts from adults destabilize children's nervous systems. The Japanese approach recognizes this. The adult regulates first. The child follows. This is not accidental. It is neurological leadership. Another critical element is the way independence is built through responsibility, not separation. Children are trusted early. They walk to school, they manage tasks, they contribute. This sends a powerful message to the brain. You are capable. Capability builds confidence. Confidence reduces resistance. A child who feels capable does not need to fight for power. This is where many Western parents struggle. We try to protect children from effort, from discomfort, from responsibility. And then we are surprised when they resist structure. But structure without contribution feels controlling. Structure with contribution feels empowering. Japanese parenting also places enormous value on harmony, not in a suppressive way, but in a relational way. Children are taught that their actions affect others, that they are part of something. This builds social intelligence. The brain learns to read the room, to anticipate impact, to self-adjust. These are advanced skills, and they are taught through daily life, not lectures. Even discipline itself is framed as guidance, not punishment. The goal is always learning. Never humiliation, never fear, never domination. The adult is a guide, not a threat, and the child's brain responds accordingly. When you combine clear rules, emotional containment, early responsibility, community belonging, private correction, public repair, predictable routines, and mutual respect, you get something very powerful. You get children who do not need to be controlled because they are regulated. You get children who do not need to be threatened because they feel secure. You get children who do not need to be forced because they understand the system. This is not cultural magic. This is brain science in action. The amygdala stays quiet because the environment is predictable. The prefrontal cortex develops because the child is trusted with responsibility. The social brain strengthens because the child is part of a group. The emotional brain stabilizes because the adult remains calm. Everything is aligned. And this is the part that matters most. These systems do not just create calm children. They create strong adults. Adults who can regulate. Adults who can cooperate. Adults who can respect boundaries without collapsing or rebelling. You do not need to be Japanese to use these principles. You can apply them tonight. You can clarify your rules, lower your emotional intensity, increase responsibility, correct privately, repair publicly, build routines, eat together, stay calm in big feelings. These are not techniques, they are shifts. And shifts change everything. If this video helped you see discipline and obedience through a new lens, take a moment to like this video, leave a comment sharing which of these rules surprised you most, and subscribe to the Parenting Blueprint so we can keep building emotionally strong children together. Because calm, cooperative kids are not born. They are built, and now you know how.